Good morning, Jubilee. Look at this. We made it to a new location. And all of you found your way here today and found your way in today, and I am so happy to see everyone. And for all of you who are out there online watching, welcome. We are still Jubilee. We are still live streaming to the world, so we're glad that you are here. I am Laura Collins. I'm the Sunday leader here at Jubilee. And a little later in the service, we're going to recognize some of the folks who were really involved in this amazing move that happened over the last several weeks. It was a lot of work by a lot of people, so we'll stay tuned for that. So changes. Life is full of changes. So I thought that might be a good reason to tell some light bulb jokes this morning. All right, so I just thought, in honor of our history and also of the band this morning, how many jazz musicians does it take to change a light bulb? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. And in honor of the average age of this community, how many Grateful Dead fans does it take to change a light bulb? None. They just let it burn out and keep following it for decades. Okay, and in honor of the screenwriters' strike, how many screenwriters does it take to change a light bulb? Now they want to change the light bulb? And finally, in honor of our hardworking board of directors, how many... Well, wait till you hear the joke. How many months does it take a board of directors to change a light bulb?
Never get done.
Well, this topic was resumed from last month's meeting, but not all of the actions were complete, and so it's going to be continued to next month's meeting. They are wandering in the dark. All right, but we have faced a lot of changes. We have new light bulbs, we have new everything, we have new screens, we have new setups for the band, we have a different table in the middle. We're not exactly in the middle. We're trying our best. We couldn't find the chalices for communion, so we've got paper cups for communion, but we believe everything is holy now. So paper cups are just as holy as a communion chalice. So we will be talking a little bit about that when we get to the prayer time. But thank you for being here and going with the flow and just flowing with the changes today. I am so excited that Candace Chellew is with us again this morning. Woo! She had actually signed up. We had talked about her talking on this date long before we knew this was going to be the date of the first time in our new place. And I was just like, Holy Spirit, there you go again. That was perfect. So we'll look forward to hearing from her a little bit later. And today, we are still awakening. And today we're awakening to generosity. So I invite us to bring our generous spirits to all of these changes, to all of the people involved in these changes, to all of the glitches that may happen today through these changes. We are just going to be generous with our love and our patience and our care for each other in this moment. So let's sing ourselves awake or into the changes.
Season, and many times Created this space, that created this available.
Yona. And now we are going to sing our Feed the Hungry song. And the reason we call it the Feed the Hungry song is because there's a basket on the table. And we invite anybody who feels led to share with our community to come up and put money in the basket as we're singing. And all of this money goes outside our community.
Our life together is so precious. Together we have grown. We have grown. Although our love is still special. Let's take a chance and fly away somewhere alone. It's been too long since we took the time. No one is to blame. I know time flies so quickly. But when I see you, darling, it's like we both are falling in love again. It'll be just like starting over. Starting over. Every day we used to making love. Why can't we be making love nice and easy? It's time to spread our wings and fly. Don't let another day go by. My love, it'll be just like starting over. Starting over. Why don't we take off alone? Take a trip somewhere far away. We'll be together all alone again, like we used to in the early days. Well, darling, it's been too long since we took the time. No one's to blame. I know the time flies so quickly. But when I see you, darling, it's like we both are falling in love again. It'll be just like starting over. Starting over. Our life together is so precious. Together we have grown. We have grown. Although our love still is special. Let's take a chance and fly away somewhere. Starting over. And we are.
It's on? Okay. Now there's a mic. I figured today's going to be a little messy, a little juicy, but it's our rejubilation, right? So, it's not doing it again? Oh, I see. I've got to put my mouth really close to the mic. Okay. So, I think there's one announcement that Laura's going to make before I give the other announcements.
Next Sunday, May 28th, is in a traditional Christian church calendar, Pentecost. So Pentecost was always my favorite Sunday. Christmas, Easter, I know that people think those are important, but really, Pentecost is when it stopped being about Jesus and started being about everyone getting the Spirit which is what Jesus had been trying to say all along. So next week, we are going to celebrate that every single person is able to receive the Spirit in their own language, their own religious language, their own whatever kind of language. And the traditional color of this Sunday is red. So if you are interested in wearing red, you may do so. However, since we are now at the Rainbow Community Center, I think the colors of the rainbow would be just beautiful. So let's see some rainbow colors next Sunday as we all gather to celebrate Get in the Spirit.
Woohoo! Good morning, Jubilee. And speaking of getting in the spirit in this transitional time of generosity, this Friday I leave for Lebanon to do a retreat, and we're spreading the cross-cultural teachings of not only creation spirituality and some of the things that we do here at Jubilee, but we're taking indigenous ceremony, which for those of you that don't know me, I'm Yona FrenchHawk. I'm the Jubilee Minister of Indigenous Ritual and Ceremony. And this is a global effort to grow what we're already doing here, to raise the awareness about the power of tribe, vision, and doing it globally and taking it out there. So for the next couple of weeks, keep me in your prayers and keep our team that's traveling here from Asheville. We're going out and we're taking this seed and we're pollinating the earth with these visions and our efforts. And thank you, because Jubilee has been a stepping stone for this to become possible. Thank you so, so much.
Hi, everybody. I'm Susie Davis. I'm your coordinator of community life, and I am thrilled to see this beautiful crowd we've got here. I had no idea that we would be filling up the pews, and this is fabulous. Listen, after the celebration, if you go out this door here, there's a little red brick building back there called the 6th grade classroom, and there is a kitchen in there and a nice big room, and we're going to have hospitality hour back there. We're going to continue this, bring finger food to share each Sunday. We'll have coffee, lemonade, and time to get to know each other. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to let you know if anybody's interested in some Jubilant Blend Altered Reality Granola, which proceeds go to Jubilee, a portion of. I'll have some in the parking lot. I got a fresh locker full, and I hope you like it.
Okay, just a couple of other things. We've got a couple of paying jobs that are available that are really necessary to making Sunday celebrations and our communications work. So we're looking for a part-time video streaming technician to replace Willie, who never intended to be so permanent as he has been. So if anyone's interested in the job or who knows someone who might be a good fit, see Bruce about that. Thanks to a generous grant from the Slater family, we are also looking for a part-time social media and digital communications intern or assistant. And I'm the person to contact about that position. Both job descriptions are on the homepage of the website. We still have openings for a couple of gifts on upcoming Sundays. The Seeds of Celebration are on the website, and you can contact Laura Collins to get on the schedule. And then just a couple announcements about this space. So there is no food or beverages allowed in the auditorium, so please don't bring munchies and things to drink in. And if you find the chairs are a little too hard, bring your own cushion this time, because we don't have any place to store them. And that is it for Jubilee in Action.
Good morning, I'm Daniel, and I've got great news for you. We didn't leave the choir behind in the old building. They found us. Isn't that wonderful? And it's been a 3-ring circus this morning, so I'm really glad that we all got it together. Anyway, we have a well-known piece. You can, if you know the words, you're more than welcome to join in the spirit, but we have some lovely stuff for you.
Thank you, Dan. It's on channel 3. Six? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This one works. All right. Thanks, John. So, having the singers up here, having the little glitches with the mics, this is all part of this, how many people have had to work, not to change light bulbs, but to change a whole community from one space to another. And it's been something, y'all. So I would like to invite, is Ray here? Oh, all right. Well, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Ray Raymond has been heading up the MOVE team, and Barry Brandt, I want Barry to come forward. And Bruce, I want you to come forward. I don't know that John and Willie can come forward, but I want you to turn around and wave at John and Willie. And also Bob Lantis. And yeah, there are a lot of people that are coming forward. Hang on. All right, and Susie, come forward. Yeah. So this is some of the primary movers and shakers, but they didn't do it alone. They each had lots of teams. So I want anyone who was part of the MOVE team at any point, John Bussey, John and Kathy, definitely, yeah. Bren, Jeff, Laura, David. I know there were more. There were like 24 people or more that were involved. So if you were involved at any point, you packed a box, you put a box in the back of your truck. I know there's more of y'all. Yeah, so just stand up, come up. Stand up or come up. You can say, yeah. All right, yeah. All right. The World Beat Band working in a new stage with a new sound system this week. Woo! So keep standing. Well, if you don't feel like it, you don't have to. But kind of look around and see who's part of this. Because I want this to really be a time of blessing. We're moving into a prayer time. We're going to ring and sing our bowls like we've done for years. So there are bowls and bells on the table. Feel free to come up and ring or sing. We also have communion at the back. Jay, if you could raise your hand back there. Jay has been stewarding our communion table for months, if not years, and Diane is back there as a prayer partner as well. So that is sort of west, and there goes Yona as one of our prayer partners. That's sort of west, so it's sort of still our western wall. And there's a lot of room back there and a little more privacy for your prayers. So, all right, I'm going to take a minute and take a deep breath. Look around at all these people who worked really, really hard. And the people who are still working really hard this morning to make it all work. And I'd like you to rub your hands together, get some energy going. And let's send blessing to each and every person that's been part of this. And if you haven't been able to help with the move for whatever reason, but you've been holding them all in prayer, this blessing is for you as well. Jubilee volunteers, we bless you. Say that with me. Jubilee volunteers, we bless you. Jubilee staff, we bless you. World Beat Band, we bless you. Daniel and Paula and the singers, we bless you. Susie, who's here from Rainbow and is helping us make it all work today, we bless you. We bless this space. We bless every person who is sitting in this space today. Good job. We bless all of you who are watching. It takes a village. And we have a village. Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right, so we're going to continue our blessing time and our prayer time. And during this time, please somebody come and ring and sing the bowls with me. It's going to be a little harder for me to ring and sing a bowl today with holding this. So somebody else can ring this one. You got one? No? Okay, yeah. I want a lot of people to ring it, but yes, you can ring also. Here. Oh, yeah, you can stand here, please. Yeah, I love support. Yeah. Okay. So feel free to go and receive communion, to receive support from our prayer partners. Feel free to stay and ring and sing your bells. Let's just take a deep breath. And even though we don't have our earth right over us like we're used to having, we know that she is under us. And so we bring the energy up through our feet and into our hearts. And we bring the energy down from above and into our hearts. And we bring the energy out from around us and into our hearts. And we know this energy is ours to steward and ours to share. And so as we feel the energy growing in our heart, as we bring it up, as we bring it down, as we bring it in from every direction, we feel it growing in our heart. And we send it back out. And we know that this currency of energy going and coming, coming and going, is the currency of love. And so we hold in our hearts now any community, any place in the world that we know is in special need of love today. We hold this community. And with all the changes in legislation around our country, I invite into this place of love any trans person or any parent of a trans person struggling right now to feel safe. And I invite you to name yourself in that place of needing generous love. For all that has been, thanks. for all that will be. Yes. For this moment, right here, right now. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to try our round of Dona Nobis Pacem. I think we got some leaders who are going to sing with us. We don't know exactly where the thirds are today, so just kind of sing where you feel led to sing, but you'll have some leaders.
We'll do part 1 here, part 2 in the middle, part 3 on the other side of the aisle. This is a round, so we're going to start it in unison. Hello, does this work? Oh, cool, it works.
Hey, hey.
Yeah. Okay, so no biggie, but just watch me. Watch your section leaders. Okay.
Correct. We're all singing it together first in unison, and then we'll break off into parts. Dona nobis pacem, pacem. Dona nobis 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 pacem.
This is the time we give each other that peace.
Okay, time to sit down, I guess, according to Laura. I'm a delegate. Good morning. Good morning. I also want to just echo the thanks to the Rainbow community for welcoming us into their space. It was quite a search as part of the relocation task force, and so to have found a place with this vibe and energy and welcoming spirit, so thank you. My name is Paula Brandt. I am married to Barry Brandt. Yay. I was first introduced to Jubilee in 2014 when I reconnected with my childhood sweetheart. And thank you. And then Barry has been active with Jubilee for over 25 years. And the source of strength and connection to spirit, the grounding after a hard week of work, the connection with heart-centered people, just the beauty of Jubilee was so vital in his life. And so today, as we awake to generosity, I tell you, Jubilee's got generosity down, big time. My first celebration that I attended in 2014, I was overwhelmed by the meaningful eye contact, the sharing of the peace, the human connection, just the energy, the vibe. And after the celebration, Barry brought me over to meet Howard. And instead of saying, nice to meet you, or it's an honor, the words, I love you, just like flowed out of my mouth. I mean, that's what I said. And he's like, oh, that was really sweet. And Barry looked at me like, wow, you're weird. But that's what spirit led me to do. And I also just want to echo Laura's recognition of all the past and present volunteers. You are definitely the blood that circulates the heart of Jubilee. So keep on giving if you can, in whatever way you can. I also want to recognize Laura. Right on. So I first met Laura on my computer. And it was in the midst of COVID. And her bright spirit, her fierce leadership, her energy, her commitment just came so through in these, uncharted waters of the pandemic. And I thought, wow, she is kind of keeping this energy happening through very difficult times. And here we are again in uncharted waters under her leadership. And I don't know, I wasn't here last week for the final celebration at Wall Street, but I watched on the video, and the camera is zooming in on Laura. And your emotion, well, first of all, your amazing depth of Jubilee's, the understanding of Jubilee's history, the recognition of the soul, the DNA, the banners, all of it was so inspiring, moving. And then when the tears bubbled through, your love for Jubilee was just so palpable. So thank you. Yeah. And we're all here also navigating, uncharted waters. I'm going to share just something that I've used in my life that has helped me during times of difficulty. And not that this is necessarily a difficult time, it's full of opportunity, but just a little piece of maybe wisdom. I have spent my career working in the field of mental health and substance use, helping people with substance use issues. 40 years of dedicated work as a social worker. I currently own, thank you. Thank you. I currently own a clinic up in Minnesota, and believe me, when you are working with some of the most troubled folks, there are lots of things that can and do go wrong. And people say to me, how is it that you can do it? How is it that you can keep giving? And I have applied this a skill that I call attached detachment. And what it is you show up. You show up in whatever way you're able, in the best way that you're able at any given moment. And of course, that can vary from day to day, moment to moment. But show up fully. Do your best, and then you get to let go. Because that's all you got, right? I mean, that's all we have is our best. And what allows me to let go is a belief that ultimately I'm going to be okay. I mean, short of something, landing on me, and even then, whatever. I mean, there could be worse ways to go. I'm gonna be okay. I believe that comes from faith. So this skill only works if you have faith that no matter what, you're going to be okay. And where does that come from? And so I thought, that's a good question. And then again, Laura inspired me last week when she talked about gratitude. And she talked about the twin to gratitude is hope. And I would say the triplet to hope is faith. And so it comes back to gratitude as the foundation, which is accessible. We all have something, even if it's the simplest things, that we can be grateful for. So great gratitude to hope, to faith, that all shall be well. Yeah. And so in closing, just one other little insight that happened a couple days ago. I live in Minnesota half-time. I have aging parents, a family member who struggles, a business, a community. And I'm here in Asheville, Weaverville, half-time, where I have a loving husband. I'm part of a really rich spiritual community. We're meeting new friends. And I keep getting confused because I keep calling Minnesota home, and I call North Carolina home. And then I say, oh, no, I'm not home, I'm visiting. No, I'm visiting. No, I'm not home. And I realized that, no, home is where the heart is, right? Right? So my heart is here, and my heart is there. So I get to, both are home. And you know what? Home is where your heart is. So we are home. So thank you.
Am I? Oh, I'm on. Oh, my goodness. I'm not sure how much more I can add to that. Thank you, Paula. That was lovely. In your bulletin, you will see some readings that I'm not preaching from. So you may use them for your own edification. I will share with you my readings, though. I have a couple of readings from A Course in Miracles. From the Course in Miracles workbook, lesson 157. Today you will embark upon a course you have not dreamed of. Oh, thank you. I need a head ding. But the Holy One, the giver of happy dreams of life, translator of perception into truth, the holy guide to heaven given you, has dreamed for you this journey, which you make and start today, with the experience this day holds out to you to be your own. And from the workbook of lesson 75 of A Course, today we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster. Sorry, you see where we're going, all right? Today we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster. There are no dark dreams now. The light has come. Today begins the time of light for you and everyone. It is a new era in which a new world is born. The old one has left no trace in its passing. Today you see a different world because the light has come. And so this is ancient wisdom and holy word. Thanks to all that is wise and holy. All creation is wisdom and holy word. All creation sings of wisdom and God. Hallelujah and oh yeah. Hey, there it is. Ding. Okay. We always have that at Jubilee Circle, the community I founded back in 2010. We always are late on the ding. We're always just like, hear these wise and holy words. We're like, where's... So I'm halfway through. Ding. Every Sunday. You'd think somebody would be prepared. Apparently you have no head ding-a-ling, and we don't have a head ding-a-ling either. So. Just chew on that for a minute. Just Where somebody's thinking, oh, yes, we do. It was back in January 2017, and I do bring you greetings from Jubilee Circle in Columbia, South Carolina. And thank you so much for having me. It's been a minute since I've been here, and y'all moved. I had to figure out where, well, anyway. Back in 2017, it was January of 2017, Jubilee Circle found itself homeless. We had been meeting in the yoga room of a gym for about 6 years when the landlord tossed us out. And it was a scary time. We'd never been homeless before, even though we've always shared space or rented space from others. We've never owned our own building. We still don't. Before moving into the yoga studio, we were meeting in the auditorium of a Lutheran church. And the owner of the gym started coming to the celebrations. And one day he said, would you like to come use our yoga room? And I said, well, how much is the rent? And he said, it's free. And I went, hey, that's our price. What a coincidence. But in this moment, back in 2017, we were faced with the prospect of being out on the street, no space at all. When Beth, the woman who is my spouse now, but who was comfortably in the friend zone back then, she pulled in a favor and she landed us a meeting space at the Columbia Children's Theater. Now, at the time, so you got to know something about the Children's Theater. They are tucked away in this dead mall. And they still are housed in this zombie mall, even though they've got a better space now. But this space that we were in, it was on the second floor. It was very cluttered. We were actually meeting in their costume room. So if you didn't like what you were dressed in, 18th century, whatever, you could be whatever you wanted at that iteration of Jubilee. And we were very hard to find. Like I say, we were up on the second floor. We were further into the mall. And finally, insult to injury and all that, there was no air conditioning. And the owners weren't going to fix it because they're trying to sell this dead mall. And you know, that didn't worry us in January, but as the summer began to loom, I mean, you know, it's summer in Columbia starts like in April, May. I mean, spring is that long, and then it's 100 degrees. All right. So we figuratively and literally began to sweat. But by the end of August, we had secured a lease on a space that for the first time would be our very own. That meant we could leave our stuff set up. I mean, that was the big deal, you know? No more setting up and tearing down every Sunday. No more lugging in the equipment and the instruments, only to lug them right back out again. It was a little slice of heaven. And I have to say that the place that we landed after the Children's Theater was a place that I had coveted for a long time because it was right down the street from the yoga room that we had been meeting in. And I would stand at the doorway. It was this abandoned strip shopping center, and I'm like, that's a perfect location. I'd stand at the door and look. One day, maybe we'll be down there. And then over the months that we were meeting at the Children's Theater, somebody bought that strip mall and rehabbed it. And I drove by one day, and there was a for rent sign. And within a week, we had a lease right down from where we used to meet. And that was the first building of our very own, where we could set everything up and leave it there. And we were there for 2 years. But soon the rent became too expensive, and we secured another space that was a little bit further out of town, much more affordable, and we've been there since 2019, so almost 4 years. And I tell you all this to tell you this. Every single move that we made as a congregation has made us more resilient. And it has reminded us that a community is far more than the building that it meets in. Yep. Every single move, Jubilants, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, every single move presented its challenges, but it also gave us opportunities. And I look back on our history, I realize we still exist. Jubilee Circle still exists 13 years later, only because of the extreme generosity of the people who have been part of our community. First, there was the gym owner who gave us free space in our formative years. Then there were the leaders of the Children's Theater who charged us very little to use their cluttered, beautiful little space. We were able to secure the space right down the street from our original location because of the generous support of some fairly new jubilants at the time. And finally, we were able to move into our more affordable space because two sisters who had been recent jubilants at the time told us about this strip mall that their family owned and had open space. And it was a much nicer space. And you know what? It reminded me because it used to be a bar. It was a bar. And we walked in and the bar came up to about here on me. It was the most useless bar. So we cut it in half and we shoved it up against the wall and we made cabinets out of it. And now we say Jubilee Circle, where we are always lowering the bar. That's how it goes, right? But every step of our journey in the past 13 years, there has always appeared someone, or several someones, with the resources that we needed right when we needed them. It was their generosity and the ongoing generosity of our community that has kept us alive for all these years. The other amazing thing was this, and this does amaze me when I think back on it. During our time at the Children's Theater, when you really, 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 really had to be dedicated so you could find us, we grew. In that cluttered, hot, hard to find space, people sought us out. Unlike Jubilee Asheville, the South Carolina version has always been nomadic. We've never owned a building. We've never come to identify ourselves with one single place. I will say, however, that I almost missed those days of sharing space with other organizations because it forced us to find community and connection in different and creative ways. We met in each other's homes once a month in something we called circle suppers. We met in local restaurants and bars. We started this discussion group called Spirituality on Tap. You can't use theology on tap, I learned, because the Catholics trademarked it, and they will sue you. Like the Catholic Church needs more money, but they would, so spirituality on tap it was. But honestly, when I think back, I mean, that was the most cohesive and connected that our community had ever been because we had to be creative and find ways to gather together and be community that wasn't on Sunday. Again, generosity is key. People freely gave of their homes. They gave of their time. We were very intentional about coming together and creating community that didn't rely on a building. So hear the good news today, my jubilants. You are not your building. I know it's hard. It's hard to give up such a beautiful home and embark on this wilderness journey. This was not your collective dream for your community, but I dare say it is the Holy's dream for you. And if the Holy is guiding this dream, wherever you end up will be divine space. You will make it so. As one of our readings from A Course in Miracles says, today you will embark upon a course you have not dreamed of, but the Holy One, the giver of the happy dreams of life, translator of perception into truth, the holy guide to heaven given you, has dreamed for you this journey, which you make and start today with the experience this day holds out to you to be your own. Jubilants, you are on the right path, though you may feel a bit like the Israelites wandering in the desert. I assure you today, there will be manna. Those generous hearts who want this community not just to survive, but to thrive. Like the Israelites, though, you can't stockpile this kind of manna because it comes when you need it. So be grateful for the generosity that has already come your way, knowing that more is always on the way. In my own community, I'm not going to lie, we're struggling. Attendance and giving are down just as it is in a lot of spiritual communities. Since COVID, it feels like we're just starting over. We're having to rebuild our own community that now seems to prefer to either sleep in on Sunday morning or attend the church of the New York Times, you know? It happens. It's a challenging time for spiritual communities. What do we do then as we all navigate through our own wilderness time? Well, my hunch is that this is the time that we all need to go deeper. Instead of worrying about width, where we seek to just get more butts in the seat while we're meeting, I believe this is time for both of our communities to not take anyone in the room right now for granted. And that's the danger when we seek to grow. Sometimes it's at the cost of the people who are already here. We say, hey, we're glad you're here. Where's everybody else? Let's look for some other people, some more people. It's like saying to your spouse, hey, you're great, but who else is out there? How long are they going to stick around? That Jesus guy we talk about, he knew the value of going deep because he knew that if he did, the width would take care of itself. Jesus may have preached to large groups, but his true community were those 12 guys he gathered around him. And I am sure that there were women among this group, but the guys who compiled the canon didn't really want to talk about that. They're a little threatened by that. But anyway, the point being, Jesus' true community was quite small. And the Bible tells us that he had many, many meetings with just them to go deeper, to try to bring about such a deep transformation within that small band of people that the only thing they could do was go out and be that transformation in the world. And did they get it right every time? Oh, no. Let's talk to Peter about that. No. No. Our tiny brains are not able to grasp the fact that each of us contains the vastness of the universe. And so Jesus was trying to get it into the heads of his disciples and his closest followers that they, like he, have never left the mind of their Creator. Jubilants, we are all still at home with God. We're all just asleep in this world, dreaming of all the heartwarming and heart-wrenching things that we see and feel or experience. And Jesus was trying to remind his followers then, and us now, of who we truly are. We are the light of the world. The whole reason that we are here is to become the embodiment, that open channel for divine love to flow into the world. The truth is, thank you. The truth is you don't need a building for that. Jesus never had one. And look, here I am, thousands and thousands of years later, talking about the guy. Didn't have a building. It's because he knew the value of going deep, deep with the community you have, not the one you wish you had. So this is my invitation to you, Jubilee community. Take this time to go deep, to intentionally appreciate and connect everyone who is in this space right now. Have a look around. You are the core of this community. And if you take each other for granted, and you rush out in a frenzy to get new people to come, you'll lose what you have right now. And it's beautiful. I invite you to step into the miracle of a changed perception, to to see this step on your journey as a time to rejoice and see the infinite possibilities that have been laid before you by the holy. It may feel awful right now. And I invite you, if it does, embrace your grief. The biblical tradition talks about putting on sackcloth and sitting in ashes. It may feel like your old dream has been demolished. And that is a pain that none of us wants to endure, but you also can't ignore it. This is a time of grieving, Jubilant. And I invite you, feel your feelings of sadness. Feel your grief. Don't give those emotions any short shrift, because it is these exact feelings that open the doorway to going deeper in your personal and your collective spiritual journey. The grief, it invites you to dance with it, to get to know its gifts and its opportunities to create a community that is resilient, cohesive, and generous of spirit. Just as our bodies carry the entire energy of the universe, so do communities. You know, whenever we die physically, it's like laying down a suit of clothing, because our spirit is eternal. It's not dependent on a body. And it's the same with a community. Together, Jubilants, you have laid aside the suit of clothing that you have known as 46 Wall Street. Just like our bodies, though. You may have made that location your identity, but I am here to tell you that it is not. Just like our body. It was a beloved dwelling place for a time, for a season. But neither a body nor a building defines who we all truly are. You are the light of the world, Jubilants. Like rays of the sun, we believe we're separate from the sun that created us, but like that ray of sunshine, we're just an extension of light. And when our light goes out, we just return to what created us in the first place. A Course tells us that seeing the world in a new light, a change in perception, is a miracle. But that change in perception helps us become miracle workers by accepting our role as extensions of God's love in the world. And this, Jubilants, it is your mission, no matter where you meet. Your calling, your duty in this world is to be the light, to shine so brightly that others are attracted to you like a moth to a flame, to be consumed by the love, the divine love that you shine. This is how we create what A Course calls a happy dream. And if your dream doesn't seem so happy right now, I invite you to ask but one question. Why is this in my dream? You're the ones creating not just the dream of your own lives, but this collective dream that we call Jubilee. In this moment, it prompts you maybe to be unhappy in this dream of existence. And if you are, why is this experience happening? And I would offer that anything less than a joyful dream is there as a lesson to be learned, a miracle of a new perspective to be accepted instead of resisted. And that new perspective is simply the reminder that we are all extensions of God's love in the world. That's the task, to extend that love in every moment. To fully embrace that mission, though, it necessarily means that we have to go deeper in our own spiritual growth. It means we must look around this room first and dedicate ourselves to each other and our journey together along that deeper spiritual path, trusting the manna we need appears when we need it. And there will be days, Jubilants, I'm sure there's already this morning, where your faith is wavering, where you wonder, can this community do it? There'll be days when you doubt your path. And in those moments, I invite you to rely on one another, to help one another, to encourage one another, be generous with one another, and above all, love one another. If you dedicate yourselves in this moment to going deeper as a beloved community, I know that someday soon you'll look back on this moment just as I look back at the Children's Theater and see that this is the time when you will grow. When you will grow stronger by leaps and bounds, because you're growing together in love, joy, peace. And as you journey together on this new path, Jubilant, I invite you, take these words from a course as God's promise of your happy future. Today, Jubilant, we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster. I'm telling you, it's been one, right? Hear these words. There are no dark dreams now. The light has come. Today begins the time of light for you and everyone in this new era in which a new world is born. The old one has left no trace in its passing. Today, you see a different world because the light has come. Jubilance, today the light has come. And that light is each of you, shining together, shining so brightly that maybe, just maybe, thousands of years from now, everyone will still be talking about that little congregation in Asheville that changed the world because they used their wilderness time to go deep, to love each other, to come together. And they emerged as a community that made the whole world say, "Oh, yeah." Thank you. I do have a song for you as we pass the bowl. Okay. I wrote this song, it actually was inspired by the Tibetan Buddhist idea of rainbow bodies, which is if someone achieves Buddhahood while they're still alive, when they die, their bodies will like physically shrink until they disappear. But also, it can have a second meaning, and I want to invite all of y'all to remember, you are the rainbow bodies in this world. Through the clouds, a rainbow appears to wash away our tears. The colors remind us of who we truly are. A spectrum of love, brighter than any star above. Oh, oh, oh. We are these rainbow bodies radiating with love, that everyone is worthy of all, shining so bright. All hatred dissolves in our light. We are these rainbow bodies. We are these rainbow bodies. Oh, 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 oh. Red for passion and end to strife, orange for joy, a heart full of life. Yellow for wisdom and a mind that's clear, green for growth and a soul without fear. Oh, oh, no fear. We can grow and you can never withhold. Oh, rainbow bodies shining low. Our ego could never dream of. Oh, 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 oh. We are these rainbow bodies radiating with love, that everyone is worthy of, all shining so bright. Oh, hatred dissolves in our light. We are these rainbow bodies. We are these rainbow bodies. Oh, 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 hatred dissolves in our light. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those of you who aren't standing, go ahead and stand up now because we're going to sing ourselves out with big gratitude to Candace for being here. Woo! Welcome this week.
Halle, halle, hallelujah. Halle, halle, hallelujah. Halle, halle, hallelujah. Halle, halle, hallelujah. as simple as that. Thank you, Jubilee. See you next week. Thank you, World Beat Band.